What is up, guys? We're back with another 379 video. No rest for the wicked. We're gonna keep pumping them out. The last video saw we got the bunk on, most of the interior done. We're back working again today. We're just you saw us mocking this light bracket up a few weeks ago. Just finally getting around to solid bolting it in. We got some good stainless hardware in there. While Todd was doing that, I got the airbags mounted. 1 and 2. Starting to work on the shocks. Some Fleetline shocks. I'm ready to put this one in now. And then there is a torsion bar that goes from here to there. Pulled one off of the old truck. It was still good, so I'm just painting it up so it looks nice. That's outside right now. Last night we went ahead and installed these fancy brackets for the new exhaust, and then I took the wiring from the took the wiring from the bunk, ran it back up into the cab, got it all plugged in, and then siliconed it in place, and now there won't be any leaks. We kind of lost our breeze, so it's getting hot in the shop. I don't know how much work we're gonna end up doing today, but I went and picked up the new sleeper boot. We can put it in anytime. There is a new seal for the front of the hood, and then the door rubbers, which would be nice to get those in as well. So enough talking, let's get back to work. And then here's the little paint project I got going on, painting this torsion bar. So gonna get it flipped over and we'll paint the other side, and we'll be ready to put it on the cab once it's dry. Okay, we are back. We've been working for a little while. It's kind of hard to film. It's a hot day, so we're just kind of picking away at stuff. But as you can see here, I got the shocks, the bags, the torsion bar, all in, all never seized, all torqued to spec. And around, went ahead and put the bracket in for the leveling valve. You see it there, and the leveling valve. We'll hook it up once we get air to the truck and kind of figure out our ride height. And then after that, the boys were here and we decided to throw on an air can. So a little bling for you guys. This is an old can that was on the truck that Todd so graciously polished up in his spare time. So it looks really good. It just kind of, we have to change the bolts. We got, we need 7/16, we got 3/8 holding the straps on, but it's up there and it looks good. So maybe we'll throw the other side on too, and it'll be easy to just swap the bolts out later. So a little more progress update. Went ahead and put all this corner upholstery back in. So we have a complete cab interior. And we ordered some new door seals. So we put the door seals in. Those went in really nice. Not that expensive. So if you have an old truck, I highly recommend replacing those. They make a big difference. And then hang this up out of the way. This door might rattle a bit because this inside isn't hooked up yet, you can see, but listen to how just a nice
There, go home with an all new set of freaking fingerprints.
Get some grip tape stuck down here. Didn't want to talk.
There you go.
Only out by 1/4 of an inch. Looks great. I'm just kidding. Looks good. On to the top one. So we got our step box mounted. Got some grip tape on there. It's hard to see how shiny that box is. Anyways, and then this is the door seal on this side. Just listen to how nice that sounds. Like brand new. Okay. Well, we might be huffing and puffing, but we're in here having a little date with this sleeper boot. Got her all the way around. We did it the first time. We thought we had it pressed in the corners pretty good, and there's about 8 inches of slack in the bottom. Then we went and watched a Greg A video, which
got some advice.
Near the very end he said, you know, if it's a little too short, it probably doesn't fit in the corners, and he was right. So shout out to you. We got her in. She looks good. Another big step in the project done. Well, I had to delete that last clip I filmed of us putting that cabinet in because we did a bunch of cussing, but cabinet's in, back wall, trim piece is all done. We put the sleeper boot in, and then this beautiful upholstery piece that goes around it, and then the carpet over the bottom. So the interior is pretty well together. There's a light that goes up there, and there's a trim that goes just above the door frame on each side. So then she'll be done. So guys, it's the next morning. We actually had a little bit of rain last night, or this morning. It's pretty good. So let's catch up a little bit of office work, but came out here late last night. I like it when it's quiet and there's not a lot of people around. I need to do a bit of focusing, and I need to do a little bit of focusing, and I wired up the center dash panel. There's a lot of air lines and wires and stuff you got to plug in. Not that big of a deal, but this truck, half the gauges were missing in it when we got it, so it took me a while to just sort through the dash and make sure I was getting the right plugs. And luckily I had the other cab that I labeled everything I took apart, so I could go back and check for a reference. And there was a few airlines I didn't know where they went, so I just kind of followed them down to the block underneath the steering wheel there, and then checked on the other truck where they went, and I had them labeled, so I was able to figure that out, and now it's installed and looks pretty good. So I just have that last panel, not a big deal. There's only like 2 gauges and I know where they go. So the middle one, that was the main one, that was kind of a challenge, so got it done. Spent a couple hours, and you know, it was nice to be out here in the quiet and get it done. All right, moving right along, working on some stacks now. I don't know if I mentioned it. Got a good deal on these stacks. They were actually in a fire. They look tough, but I think they'll clean up. You can see the bluing there from the heat on this side. It's a really nice truck too. It's too bad that it burned up. But so here's a little tip for you. Todd, tell them what you're doing.
Oh, well, we're putting a little WD-40 on the rust and hoping that it'll break the rust down, and then we'll go at it and try and clean it up.
So here's all this surface rust. And here's where you did before, and just spraying WD-40 and just rubbing your hand on there. It's basically taking out all of that rust that was running. There was heat shields on here, so the rust is running down the stack, and that's all coming off. So here's a little section where we practice polishing on it, and I think they're all gonna clean up very nicely. So a little bit of elbow grease. That's we should actually call this truck elbow grease. I think that'd be a fitting name for it, but
let's come back in the morning and see what the result is.
Yeah, we'll check it in the morning. And then the other part, there's all this rubber melted onto the stacks that from stuff on the truck melting. So see all this black stuff? This is actually melted rubber and plastic. So it sprayed some on there. It's actually starting to eat it off too. So we'll check on it in the morning. So we are back. It's the next morning. I'm gonna check on this little experiment. Doesn't really look like anything has happened, but you can tell it's a bit oily. Let's just take a rag here, and yeah, didn't really do anything. But we'll get her wet again. Let's see what it looks like. Do a little before and after here. Here's a spot we've been working on. Here's the other one. It didn't get as hot in the fire. Put them damn clamps. Please put stainless straps on if you're gonna put shields. And here's the after product. One nice shiny pipe. Dang. Did a great job. You will notice you can kind of see where those straps were, but not enough to bother me for what we paid for these pipes. They'll look just fine on there for a long time. And one day we can replace them with new ones. But for now, with the spirit of the budget and the theme of this project, elbow grease, these look great. Good job, Todd. Okay, we have a treat for you now. Little Bostrom Pro Ride action, mid-back, low base, going in this beast. And along with that, we have these nice stainless plates that actually my friend Corwin over at Spec'd Out Customs put us onto. 12 gauge, cut these out for him, and he sold us a couple. But these are the holes for the Bostrom seat, so we'll be able to plop the seat on there, mount it in where we want it, and then you'll have a nice stainless plate to kind of cover all the old holes and make the floor look pretty damn good. So first things first, we're just kind of mocking things up. There was an airline here that was in the way. It was a bulkhead fitting, and it was seized, so we cut the bottom off underneath the cab, popped those out, and now we're just gonna probably throw a seat in here and kind of mark where it needs to be, and we'll drill some holes and we'll bolt her down. So here is the finished product. We got brand new Bostrom Pro Ride shorty with a nice stainless plate. And the factory mounting holes are actually about here and here, so it's nice we're able to shove the seat back a bit. I'll get a view from the other side. There we are. That stainless is so shiny, it looks like there's a hole in the floor. Awesome. All right, Todd, what do you think?
Call the police on me.
Yeah?
This thing's going to be going down the road. It's got no driver in it. They won't even be able to see me.
Give us your best gear shift impression. Pretty good.
Going home.
And we got a cup holder in. See you later.
Yeah, see ya. So we got lines here we can see. If we can match that to something,
Yeah, we can try.
you know, or just like you say, measure it off of here.
Or we can do the same thing. We can put bolts. So what we did to line that seat up over there and get it square, because the cab is actually angled on both sides, so we don't want to have it parallel to this door sill. We want to have it parallel to the old hole. So what we did is we just ran a bolt down in there, measured off, and put a piece of tape, you know, 2.5 inches from that bolt, and then we were able to align the seat and drill our holes. So I think we'll do that again. I don't want to do an exact copy from that side, because I think we want to push the seat as close to this wall as we can get to give us as much room as possible going through the seats. Even though this thing's going to stick out a bit, it'd be nice to at least up top where the armrest, you don't have a skinny little opening. You got a big enough opening for my fat butt to fit through there. So anyways, that's big. Another big accomplishment for today. We got one stack all done. I finished up the dash, got all the gauges in it, put the shiny screws in all the way around. There was a few of the holes the screws go into were missing the clips in the back that they screw into, so I robbed a couple from the other cab, fixed all that up. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty here, folks. Pretty awesome. And just like that, working away today. Got both Bostrom Pro Rides in there. Looking pretty snazzy on their stainless plates. Still got to get the seat belts and a few other things in. The glass guy came, put this trim ring back in so we can put this door panel on. We are grinding right along. But it's nice to put something in that's new that we didn't have to clean up or fix. Or so anyways, the new seats are kind of a treat, and I think this truck's worth it. So they look good against Burgundy. Well, I am pretty excited, but it's kind of bittersweet. The last of the parts that need to be painted are heading out tonight. Painter's coming by to pick them up. That's pretty cool service. He comes by, picks up all the parts, and then drops them off when they're painted. So that's pretty sweet. Works out good for me. But we got new front fenders here that are going on. Some goodies there that I won't quite show you yet from 12 gauge. And then the hood here that we stripped a few weeks ago is ready to go. So he'll be here shortly. We'll get it loaded on his truck, and then that's the last of her getting painted. I got a few parts at powder coat that should be done this week, and the truck will be putting, we're at the stages where we're putting all the finishing touches, put it back together. Talked to the mechanic today. He's ready for the truck in about a week to put the motor in. So I think we're right on schedule for our target, which is tomato hauling season. If we're lucky, we might be able to use it a bit in wheat, but yeah, everything's going good so far. So, and then once we get all of our stuff home, get the truck home, get the motor back in it, get it running, we got a couple days of wiring to do on lights and stuff like that. The rear light panel, front headlights should be fairly easy, but just a few things I couldn't do without batteries in the truck and whatnot right now. So moving right along, pretty sweet. It's awesome to see the progress. Looking back a few months ago, I never thought we'd be this far. So I say that a lot, but I really mean it. Like, this is a big project for me, for Todd, for my dad, for the farm. And so far, I think it's turning out great. It's been a lot of work. It's tried all of our patience a bunch, and it's different pulling us away from the stuff we normally do, which is farming and that. But in the end, I think we'll be really happy. And the way the truck market's going, I think we'll have a really good truck for the money we have invested, and I don't think we could have bought one like that. So yeah, pretty happy. Kind of a nice night. Got a nice sunset going, so we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. So we decided to take a few days off. We were getting a little burnt out on the project. We wanted a couple days rest, so we took Friday, Saturday, and today, which is Sunday, off from working on that. Got caught up on a few things. Not to say that we didn't still, line up a few items for the project. Got the fifth wheel situation figured out. We're working on the other step a little bit, so we are still kind of working on it, but we didn't want to be in the shed for a few days, just give it a rest and come back fresh on Monday. But one thing we are looking at are these fuel tanks. These are the tanks that came off the truck. They're actually a mixture of both the parts truck and the truck we're building here. So they were pretty dirty, but we thought we found the rest. They're pretty dirty, but we thought we found the best of the four that we had. And we drained them out the other day and all this stuff and washed them off back here. But, this is probably the best tank we had. And it still has its flaws, dings, issues. And I didn't really want to send them to paint. And, I just didn't know how long they were going to last. They do have a bit of wear where the bands were, so it's probably okay. This is the other one I thought was good, and then on further inspection we found that it's been patched. There's a ding here, there's a ding there, and that was okay as long you wouldn't see those, they're on the inside. But here's the part that bothered me the most. It looks like it's been JB welded or gooped or whatever that stuff is. So we decided to X-nay this tank. I said, oh, maybe I'll get some new tanks made. I called down. The price wasn't too unreasonable. It has gone up quite a bit since I had some made a few years ago. But, they couldn't get it done for another 6 to 8 weeks. So I called down to another guy a few hours away that what he'll do is he cuts the end caps off and your bungs out and rebarrels your tanks and welds your end caps on. And he said he could get to them right away, so they're actually going down there tomorrow. So what we're doing today is we kind of picked the best of the, actually have 6 fuel tanks to choose from. And we decided not to go with these two or the other two that were off these two trucks, and actually decided to go with a set that were off of the flat top 379. So I'll go inside and I'll show you those. So here are the tanks that we're gonna end up using. They're actually off the flat top 379, like I said. They're 135 gallon tanks instead of 150, so that's no problem. They'll just make them a little longer. All the bungs and ports are the same, so we'll turn them into 150s. There was a dent here. It's one of the reasons why we didn't use them on that black truck that we have, the flat top. It doesn't really affect this end cap, which is good. The other reason why they were starting to weep at the band, so they were leaking. And we could have got new bands welded on them, but with that dent and stuff, you know, they are in decent shape, but we decided to go with new tanks. At the time, they were pretty cheap. A little bit of a dent here too. But the end caps are in really good shape, so when we get those on and get them rebarreled, it should look awesome. And then we'll send them out to paint and have them painted and slap them on the truck. And you know, it should be about a 2-week turnaround between the time they're gonna have the tanks for about, and it's only gonna take them a couple days, but it'll be a few days where we can get back down there, just a couple hours away to pick them up. So we'll pick them up and we'll send them right to the painter. He shouldn't have them very long. Should be able to slap them on the truck. So so yeah, those are the tanks. We got them strapped up on this skid, and we'll throw a couple straps over that to make sure they stay in the truck. But just like every man, those ain't going anywhere. So with that, guys, it is Sunday, it's Father's Day, so I want to wish all the dads out there happy Father's Day, my dad included, as well as Todd. And if you guys are on the road and driving truck, happy Father's Day to you guys too, and hopefully you get some time home to spend with your families. And with that, I just want to thank everybody for watching the videos. Thanks for all the good comments. Everyone's kind of getting excited for all the to see the truck finish. So I got a bunch of parts, a bunch of goodies, a bunch of bling bling stuff coming down the pipe. That's either here or coming. That'll probably show you a lot of that in the next video. So just thanks again for commenting, subscribing, liking, sharing, all that good stuff. It's actually really fun doing these videos, and when you guys are energetic about it, it makes me energetic about it. So with that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.